Good. All right, so my name is LINA THOMPSON, for anybody who doesn't know me, and I want to welcome you to our Zoom room, our Start Canada call. So this is a place where we get Start members from all over Canada together so that we can really work on our visions and our ignite each other and our passions. So a little bit about me. I am coming to you from Barrie, Ontario. And before Isagenix, I was overweight, I was tired, I was uncomfortable in my skin. I had lost my passion and my purpose. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to contribute. I had, my heart was in humanitarian aid. And I was introduced to Isagenix by my mom, and I started a 30-day system on a mission to prove to her that the products didn't work. Can anybody relate to that? Setting out? Yeah, I see some heads nodding there. So I started a 30-day system, and I felt amazing, and I decided to continue. And because of the lifestyle changes that I made, I have been using the products for almost 4 years, and I was able to lose over 70 pounds. And I wake up with incredible energy, and most importantly for me, I love my body and I feel comfortable in my own skin. So I'm really passionate about helping other people do the same. And like I said, I have a passion in humanitarian aid. So that's where I see Isagenix as a vehicle to do the things that I want to do. And I'm really passionate about helping people around me on this more intimate level, and then actually going out and doing work abroad. So a little bit about me. So this right now, like I said, this is a group of us individuals that have a common vision, and our vision is to ignite all young people to own their lives physically and financially, and through our contributions, create freedom and lasting legacy. So how many of you guys can get excited about that? I think we can stand behind that. So the purpose of this call is to get all of us together to provide the tools, the support, the coaching, and the inspiration so that you have a 10 out of 10 belief in all areas, so that you feel unstoppable when you are sharing this incredible gift. So how many of you guys have your tickets to Red and White? And how many of you can agree that getting to events is so, so important? Awesome. So I hope that we can share some belief so that we can all meet there and unite as a Start group and really push this movement forward. So last week we talked about vision boards and affirmations. Did anybody come up with some affirmations or try something new or add to their vision board that they want to share with us? Can anybody unmute themselves and share a little bit about that?
I will. Can you see me, Leah?
Yeah.
So an affirmation I've been doing for, I guess, about 6 months or so. It's not recent, in the past week, but I was at a different event, and one thing we started every day saying, today is going to be awesome because I say so. And that was just really powerful for me to kind of start off on the right foot every single day. Today is going to be awesome because I say so.
I love it. That's awesome. Is there somebody else who wants to share an affirmation?
Hi.
Go for it.
I don't have an affirmation, but I did something with my vision boards. I split them up into one where it's all, I should even show it, but one is like entirely business related. So it's got like dollar amounts, it's got rank advancements, it's got goals for my team. And then the entire second one is all about what I want for my life, between like cottages and travel and all that kind of stuff. And so we made the two of them because I thought it was a lot easier to kind of narrow in on what I wanted, and we did it as a family, so my daughter made one too.
Awesome. That's super awesome. So because that we are recording right now and that this is a training call, we do have to talk about the disclaimer, which is that with Isagenix, we are a health and wellness company, and we provide solutions to transform lives. We make no claim to prevent, cure, or treat or diagnose any diseases. But what we do know is that Isagenix is good nutrition. It is superfood nutrition, and that our bodies are miracles. So when we put good things into our bodies, then miracles happen. That goes for health results, and you are going to hear some things on this call about financial results. And with both of those, whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So everybody's results will be different, and this is network marketing, so there is work that goes into it. So That's the legal part of this. So with that, I want to introduce to you our first speaker. So we're going to start with our starter in the spotlight. And I have never personally met this starter, but she is from the West Coast. And I know that she is super excited about dreaming big. And I'm really excited to hear her story and why she's so fired up to be part of this movement. So coming from the West Coast, we have Megan Boulerice. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but can you read for her?
Hey guys. So as Lena said, I am currently on the West Coast, but actually from Ontario, like a lot of you guys. So whenever I first started Isagenix, I started for a number of reasons, but at the time I had a lot going on in my life. I really wasn't very motivated. I was working a job that was no longer fulfilling me, and I didn't really have any goals. I was kind of going through the motions. So I was introduced to Isagenix by a friend of mine named Sean, and it was really weird in the sense that Sean was a friend of a friend, and he randomly, messaged me one day on Facebook, just, hey, how are you doing? I had been in a group of his for about a year at that point. And I said to him, you know what, I'm ready for a change. I'm really not doing very well, and I don't really know what you or your team's all about, but do you have time to call me? So he literally called me about 10 seconds later. And I think that afternoon I signed up on the Business Builder Pack, because anyone on this call who knows me knows I am either completely in or I'm completely out. So I figured if we're going to do it, we may as well go big. So I signed up then, and I've been consistently taking the products now for about 4 months. And I mean, I don't even know where to start. Like, so much has changed. So I'm now, I've set so many goals that, 4 months ago I wouldn't have even dreamed of, I wouldn't have thought of, because I just thought they were too big. And, they range from health and fitness goals to goals that I've set as far as my group of friends and my team in Isagenix, business goals, you name it. So I think, before I started, I've always been kind of a strong person, but I was in a bit of a down moment in my life. And I think one thing that Isagenix has taught me is just, first off, our team and, the company as a whole and their beliefs. I really found that they aligned with what I wanted out of life. And I think more than anything, first and foremost, everybody on our team and everybody in Start Canada and the company as a whole, there really is no better place, whether you're at a really low moment in life or a high moment. This group is so inclusive and just really makes you feel at home. And, now there are people that I'll text daily or have calls with weekly that I didn't even know 4 months ago. And now I consider them to be, some of my closest friends. And that's all because of Isagenix. So whenever I say this has been like a complete transformation, it really has been, as far as, my goals in life, my personal goals, my business goals, my circle of friends. It's even brought together my family. Whenever I started, my family's always been close, but I think within the last 4 months, I have my mom, her fiance, my dad, his girlfriend. We're all using the products, and it's really funny whenever, I am at home and we're all talking and stuff, and it always kind of leads its way back to Isagenix. And that's just, it's a testament to really in how many ways that this can bring us all together. So I guess, fitness and wellness aside, that's always kind of been something that I'm into, but I really think that Isagenix has given me a way, or has kind of shown me a path where I can really lead by example now. And I think before, where, I was always physically active, but maybe not seeing the results that I wanted, this has really given me the opportunity to show people the difference that only a few months can make. And if you're dedicated and you surround yourself with positivity and the right environment, the possibilities are endless. It really is crazy. And I think something that's really, near and dear to my heart is whenever I started building my business 4 months ago, I called up my best friend and I was like, listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to hound you or, say that you have to do it with me, but obviously the opportunity to build a life of freedom, freedom in time, financial freedom with your closest friends is just, that's honestly one of my favorite things. And I feel like I get emotional speaking about it, but this is so huge that at such a young age, we have been given this opportunity to really make life what we want it to be. And, you know, currently I am a part of a company, I guess my 9 to 5. It's an American company, so it's very corporate America. And I think although I've been given an amazing opportunity, I realized really quickly that at the end of the day, you can work really hard and you can be successful, but there's always somebody above you who is reaping the benefits. And at the end of the day, you're still required to be there 9 to 5. And I've always been someone who's had, you know, big dreams, but I guess never really knew how I was going to get there. So I've kind of bounced around, you know, doing a few different things. And then once Sean called me that day and kind of presented this opportunity to me, it was kind of like the light bulb went off, and that this is so massive. And I know Lina was speaking about events and the importance. So I will tell you, before my box of product even arrived, I did go to ICU Vancouver. And, you know, the first few minutes in that room can be super overwhelming. But I can tell you, I walked out of there at the end of that weekend and everything had changed. You know, my attitude had changed. I saw the vision. I saw where I was going. And now that I spend every day kind of ingrained in this and really sharing my vision with others, there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, we can make this something really, really great. And we have an amazing, amazing team to be able to do that. So I think for everybody listening, the most important thing for me is, and I try to hit this home with everybody, health and wellness is so important and it's a big part of this. But for anybody who feels like they have dreams and they don't know how they're going to get there, or they might feel like people in their lives aren't helping build them up, or, you know, they don't really have the tools or the knowledge, this network that we've created and this family that we've formed, this is so important, and you never have to feel like you're alone here. And that really, I truly believe, is all it takes to really lift yourself up and get to where you're going. So, I mean, network marketing, Isagenix, our family here, all of this as a whole, for me, aside being able to do this with my closest friends and family, is just the ability and the knowledge that I now have to know that it doesn't have to be 9 to 5. There doesn't have to be a cap on income. You know, you can make your own schedule. You can make life what you want it. We're not here to work. We're here to live. And, you know, if anybody is feeling like they're not being able to do that currently in their jobs, this is our way out, and this is our way to change and really take a stand for our generation and our future. And just, let's do this right, guys, and let's show everybody the potential that we have here. This is so huge. I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Awesome. That was amazing. That was powerful.
Sorry, maybe a bit of a rant, but
no, that was awesome. There's a couple of things that I wrote down and I just love them. Like the first thing that you said, and I think that a lot of people can relate. You said, I always knew, I have goosebumps saying this. I always knew that I was a strong person, but I was in a down moment. How many of you guys can relate to that? That's amazing. I see everybody's heads nodding. And how many of you would agree that your relationships with your family and your friends have gotten stronger because of Isagenix? There's lots of heads nodding. And what I was thinking when you were talking is how much I've actually learned about myself since going into Isagenix than I feel like I did in my whole life before Isagenix. You know, it's quite a powerful movement. And when you were sharing that your friend reached out to you on Facebook, I think that's a powerful lesson to all of us starters, that we can reach out to somebody, and, you know, when the moment's right for them, that, you know, you can change their life because somebody did that for you. So with that, I think that was powerful. Thank you so much. I see the comments going off in the chat box, and I look forward to having you on our call in the future. Like we'll see you training, I know it. But right now we have an important business training that we're going to get to, and this trainer is a mom. She is a Start 1000 member. And what I love about Kristie Shaver is that she is speaks, lives, breathes one team mentality. I have no idea where she is in connection to me, but I can reach out to her at any point in time, and she is always willing. She did it this week, and I love learning from her. So can we get a good raise the roof for Kristie Shaver?
You guys are so cute. Thank you so much, Lina. You're the sweetest. So thank you guys so much for inviting me to be a part of the call. I started 3.5 years ago, and as I've watched the Start group grow, I hope that you guys realize the power in this community that we have, because I worked a lot of jobs in my life, and I've never experienced a community like this one. So when I found Isagenix, I was working 3 jobs. I was rarely ever seeing my husband or my daughter, and I was giving all of my energy and time to a job during the day where I assisted one of these top sales leaders, and I would race 40 minutes from work to pick up my daughter from daycare, only to drop her off with my husband at home, get dressed, and race 30 minutes back to serve at a restaurant until like 11, 12, 1, 2 at night. So the next morning I would do that again, and then in my spare time, I was a travel agent from home. So I was really busy. But do you know what happened? I love how this always happens. It's like this magical moment. But I found Isagenix scrolling through Facebook, and I saw Carrie Coffey post her 30-day results. And I was looking for a weight loss solution. So because of an amazing product experience, this busy mom and wife, I found the time. By giving up TV, I would set my alarm 30 minutes early, and I would go to bed an hour later to build a business with Isagenix. But the thing was that I didn't realize yet that it was a business. So I gave up that sleep and TV for free products. I always say I'm Dutch. I love free stuff. That's probably what happened. But I was truly suffering in silence with my family. We were so far in debt. I had inner struggles after having my first baby. And, you know, on top of that, there's a bug in here. Maybe it's because I had a glass of wine and it's thinking that there's some left, but there's not. So with not even realizing that there was an actual business with Isagenix, I said to somebody, this company is going to go bankrupt, and I'm going to take all their money because I can. And this is not going to last. Like, this was my first week in Isagenix. That's the attitude I had. So by the time that I had received my second IsaWallet pay, because I had really just had great results and shared them. And like I said, just wanted free stuff. So I thought the more people I tell, the more free stuff I'm going to get, right? So my second IsaWallet paycheck comes in, and I am ticked, right? So remember I said I was suffering so much, my attitude was a little bit off, which I'm happy to say is no longer the case. But my second pay comes in, and I call customer service, and I'm like, what is this? How am I supposed to know who this goes to? Like, I've signed up people. There's no report. I didn't get any. Anyways, this customer service agent says to me, oh my God, you're so cute. That's your money. And I'm like, my money. This paycheck was more than I made in all 3 of my jobs in 2 weeks. Like, how did I even earn that? So now I start to look around, and Carrie, my sponsor, she was also new. So we knew nothing, but we were both ignorance on fire. We had no idea what was going on, but we were going to find out. So I get onto a call just like this one, and Janie Snellgrove was hosting this welcome call, and I was the first one on it. And she's like, we're just going to wait a few minutes. Get some people calling in. And I was like, please let nobody call in tonight, right? I prayed and prayed that nobody was getting Janie Snellgrove that night. And guess what? No one called in. So I had Janie all to myself, and I said, hi, I am so new. I just got paid X amount of dollars, and I want more. So what do I do? Janie still laughs at me because I was like strictly all about the money at first, and I was not afraid to obviously mention that. So Janie tells me her story, and she says, anybody who wants to be successful in this business, whether they want to earn $500 a month or $5,000 a month, they will get to events and they will bring their team to an event. So I went. Remember guys, I am like halfway into my 30-day, right? And so from little old Harrisburg, Ontario, I don't even know how many people live here, like 100, and like probably 60 of them are kids, right? Everyone's Dutch here. So from Harrisburg, I book my flight, my hotel, and my ticket, and I go to Isagenix University in Phoenix, Arizona. It was like the week after. And keep in mind, I get off this call with Jamie, and Morgan's like, how was your call? I'm like, great, I'm going to Arizona. And he's like, okay. So he was super supportive, but this is how it all started. It was like this whirlwind of things. So I go alone, and I go with an open mind. And this is where I learned about the business, how it works, how the products work, why we use certain products, how we help people, how to be a coach, and most importantly, why we do this and how to duplicate that. So I'll tell you that events are everything to me in this business. I don't miss an event, and I don't go alone, because events are either, that's something that I can't do for you. If I'm talking to you and you somehow feel inspired by what I'm saying today, and you're like, wow, that's really great. Yeah, I'm fired up. This is exciting. That is nothing compared to what an event will do for your business. So my story continues on to where I set my 30, 60, and 90-day goals at that first event, and I committed to them. I worked my tail off because my why was bigger than anything else. My family deserved to live the life that they thought only a lottery win could bring us. And that's what we had been praying for. We thought a lottery win was what was going to set us free. So I was back physically and emotionally, but now it was my chance to take the bull by the horns and really make this happen. And I did. And I've grown more as a person than I could ever have imagined. And my entire focus has shifted from like, how much money can I make, to how much money can I help other people make, right? Physical goals are always number one. We always say that, Isagenix, it's 100% about the products. So I am always doing my best to coach people through their product experience. But now, instead of how much money do I make, it's how much can I help you make. So how do you guys get people to events and calls? It can be a bit of a challenge, right? So you invite 80 people and you're so fired up about it, and you're just like, this is gonna be the best. And you get on the call and no one's here. Or you get to the event and no one has showed up. That happens, and it's totally normal. But here's where I believe there's a distinct difference in how we invite people. So oftentimes, and believe me, I was like this, and sometimes I still get this way, and I've got to check myself before I wreck myself, but it's like we're convincing people, right? So in my mind, I'm saying, oh, if this person gets to an event, she'll get it. She's got a massive network. She'd be so good at the business, and that would push me from 3-star to 4-star, right? I can't even stand it. I'm so excited, right? And what are they sensing? They're like, she's desperate. Like they think they're the deer and I'm the hunter, and I'm like chasing around, right? Nobody wants to feel that way. So I'm always working on my communication skills, even with people that I don't yet speak to about Isagenix. If you have a genuine interest in people, it will naturally flow to Isagenix and the gift that you have for them. So there's something called form, right? F-O-R-M, okay? So when I talk to somebody, I am immediately throwing form into the first 3 minutes, regardless of who it is, where I am. I could be in a grocery store line, it doesn't even matter, right? So, when you're catching up and you ask how their family is, F is for family. How is work going? O is for occupation. What have you been up to lately? R is for recreation. And then sometimes the M falls into it easily, sometimes not so easily. But the M is for mission. So if they say, as an example, you're having this 3-minute conversation. You're saying, how's the family? And they're like, oh, good. The kids are in sports. It's so busy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how's work? Oh, it's okay. Are you liking it? Yeah, it pays the bills, right? Yeah, you're right. So what have you guys been up to this summer? We didn't do too much because I was working. We went camping for a week, and that was about it. I've been building some furniture kind of in the spare pockets of my life, just sort of to pay for the kids' sports, right? So what have you been up to? And by the time you've asked them these questions, people are almost a little bit like, oh my God, it's all about me. Turn it around. So as soon as they're like, so what about you? This is where I take their story that they just told me, it doesn't matter if it was 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I sort of gently rub salt in their wounds. And I always say, I'm not here to hurt anyone, okay, guys? But there's something about gently bringing back their story to them that almost stings a little bit, right? So they're saying, well, what are you up to? And I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of funny. You build this beautiful furniture so that you can pay for your kids' sports, even though you're working so hard at your job. I actually partner with people just like you who do anything and everything it takes to contribute to their family, because I do the exact same thing for my family. Would you be open to joining a call with me tonight? You can sit on mute if it makes you feel more comfortable, but with your open mind and a willingness to just trust me for half an hour, you're going to see that by the end of the call, why people just like you and me are building a business with Isagenix, right? So when you make it all about them, they care. So if you think it's about you, they don't care. They're literally like not even listening. They might be happy for you, but let's be honest, you're not paying their bills, so they don't give a you know what, right? So when somebody tells me that they want to look at Isagenix as a business, I do let them know there's a few keys to being successful. Being open and coachable, eat the products and share the products. It's like the easiest thing. And then events and personal development are mandatory. So we might have people who say, and I literally just had someone who said this to me, I don't need those raw events to help me build a business. And before I was like, oh my God, like what have I just gotten myself into? But at the same time, I used to be like, that's okay. Oh my God, you don't have to know, whatever's right. Now I'm like, you know what? As your partner in this, I will never steer you in the wrong direction. I might not know everything, and I never will. But what I do know is that events will build your belief, and they are going to help you build your business. Are you going to trust me on that? Because I have to hold that position of CEO of my business. There was a point where I had already been earning 6 figures at this business, and I would be like, oh, I don't know, they're probably just looking at me like I'm a nobody. And Morgan was like, my husband, he says, you have to remember that you have reached a goal that many people have, and you need to hold that, you know, that position and that stance that you are somebody who has done this and you can show them how to do this. And I'm like, whoa, who are you talking to? But this is how it works, right? It doesn't matter where you are. When I started, I had made, I don't know, $1,000 total at that point. You would have thought I was already a millionaire, because the way that I talked to people about where I was going, people had no idea what kind of money I had made or had not made, right? So since we're sort of talking about objections here, let's add in some others that you might have heard. So a lot of the times, and I find this is fair, it can be common with start members, is it's too much money, or I don't have enough time, or nobody is successful in that business, which is my favorite. So I'm always overcoming the objections before I even get them, right? So if I'm talking to somebody and it's obviously about a product experience first, when I'm talking to them on the phone, the first thing I do is quickly form, F-O-R-M. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much. You're probably so busy. You've got kids. How old are they? Blah, blah, blah. Real quick, you know, small talk. And then I let them tell me about their goals, right? What are your goals? When is the last time you felt that way? How is it going to feel when you lose those 30 pounds or you regain that energy, right? So once I take all of their information about their goals, I tell them about the products or the systems that I recommend. And without a hesitation, I say, okay, the great news is that the system that I just recommended is actually going to be a redirection of your grocery funds. So if you were to calculate what you spend on breakfast, lunch, coffee, and snacks in one day, are you closer to 10, 15, or 20 bucks? And then I'm just like silent. I make them tell me, right? I haven't even told them the price of the system yet. So my friend's going to say, oh, I don't know, maybe like 10 to 15 bucks. So now I know that the basic 30-day is about $10 a day. The pace setter is about 15, and the president's pack is about 20. So here's how I word it. Okay, amazing. $10 to $15 is great. Let's call it just an even $13 per day just to make this easy. Is that okay? So we have 3 systems that match what you're looking for. And the best one you can get, the best one that I can recommend would be an additional investment of $7 a day. So that's the President's Pack, which gives you the full nutritional system, your protein bars, energy drinks, cleanse support, plus your high quality vitamins and minerals. How do you feel about spending an extra $7 a day, right? So what are they thinking at that point? They're thinking $7 a day. They're not thinking $20 a day because they're already spending a certain amount. I don't get the, it's too expensive. And if I do get that point where they're like, it's sort of out of my budget, I'm like, well, I don't let you pay full price for it. Like, there's no reason for you to pay full price. As you know, I do this as a business, right? So if that interests you, I am opening up some mentorship, pods, we call them, that are actually starting on Monday. And I just always say, like, starting on Monday. Like, people love to start on Mondays, right? But if that's not for you right now, the least you can do is just get your products paid for, because I seriously just don't want you to pay full price, right? And I just make it sound very casual. So how about those people who tell you that they don't have enough time, right? So they want the business, but they're too busy to get on a call or to attend an event. Here's what I say. Wouldn't you want to have the opportunity to have a ton of free time instead of no time at all? And then I just wait, right? And then when it kind of, I don't know, yeah, I guess so. Well, how long are you going to live like this where you just don't make time for things that are going to move you forward, right? That's a stinger. That's like the salt in the wound, right? So then there's a few of my favorite objections. The ones that say that doesn't work, my favorite. That's a pyramid scheme. It's classic. And no one is successful in that business. So let's be sure that we know something first. There is no there, right? Do you know what I mean? There's no, oh, when I get there. That doesn't exist, right? The entire journey is a journey and it keeps going. So the first time that I decided I was going to do this, I told this guy from work, right? He's the first person I told, and I love him for what he told me. He comes friggin' raging over to my desk with this flapping piece of paper, and he slaps it on my desk, and he goes, I did a hand-drawn chart on all the ways that you're going to crash and burn. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because literally at that second, I was like, here are my choices. I can work with this a-hole for the rest of my life, pretty much for at least another like 35 years, which is not going to swing for me. Or I can really take control of my life, right? Here's something to always remember. Guys like that, people like that, they're not paying your bills with their opinions. Their opinions are just opinions, right? And as soon as you realize that that has nothing to do with you and you release that, you move on with your journey to financial freedom, because that's what you deserve and that's what your family deserves. So that's a pyramid scheme. Ask them what a pyramid scheme is and just be silent, right? The Direct Sales Association is a very strict association that monitors companies like us, and network marketing is one of the most highly watched businesses, right? So rest assured that we're in good hands. So then there's the objection of nobody is successful in this business. And again, this is a really great one to say, oh my God, how long were you in network marketing? Did something bad happen? Right? Because they have not been in it. And if they have, you say, well, what happened? Did the company go under? Oh, you quit? Oh, okay, that's why it didn't work, because you quit, right? Okay. Be proud of what you're doing. This is a really great way and a polite way to convey a message of, you know nothing about what you're chirping about, so go back to your job and I will hire you at a later date to do my taxes, right? Just be kind to these people. A lot of the times they're trying to protect us, and sometimes they're just not very nice people. So there really are some incredible ways to get around objections, but realize first that the most objections that you're going to get is probably the thing that you have the biggest problem with. So if you're hearing it's too expensive, you probably think it's too expensive yourself, or maybe you're too shy to present someone with a president's pack because you would never buy a president's pack, right? So by training yourself, getting on calls like this and listening to podcasts, getting to every dang event, you will build your belief and you will stand tall in recognizing that we offer value. So that is all I've got today. I don't know if we've run out of time. Like, is it already Monday? I am quite the talker. So thank you guys so much for having me. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Kristie. I have a question for you about after these calls, what is your follow-up process?
With which calls?
So like when you said you know, you go into the call, you go with form, and then you kind of put the salt on the wound and you bring it back to their motivation. So how would you close that call, or how would you follow up until this person gets started?
So I really just tried to take that position that we're already best friends, right? Like when I find out form, I make sure to know that their family is very important to them. Their job is something that they do every single day. Recreation is something that they want so badly, and their mission is often something that they think they have to win the lottery for, right? So when you take form and you just follow up in that way, hey girl, how are things going? I'm sure the kids are probably in bed right now. It's probably 8:45. Anyways, I wanted to follow up with you because, you know, in regards to what we talked about. And a lot of the times when I am asking somebody to give me their time so that I can approach them about the business, I do not ask for their time. I tell them they're giving it to me, right? So I'll say, hey Meg, I desperately need to talk to you about something. I have something so incredible that I want to invite you to. You obviously know what I'm a part of because I see you liking my stuff, and I know that's code for you on in with what I've got. So when are you free this week to give me 10 minutes of your time so I can properly invite you, right? So everything is an assumption. So when I follow up with them, it's like, hey, I know you watched your video because I got the little notification that you watched it. That's the what is it called? ISA Tools to Go app. It's so good, guys. Sends you a text as soon as they've watched the video that you've sent them. So I'll say, hey, I'm calling you tonight or tomorrow. Which time works best? Like, I'm always making a friendly assumption that it's just happening. So I don't know if that works for everybody, and it doesn't always work for me, of course, right? But that's just kind of how I take things.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. One thing that I really loved about what you said was that people have no idea how much money you've made, how much you have or have not made. So that says something about how much what our posture is. And I think that brings me back to acting as if, right? You know, like, how are you going to act when you make the 6-figure income or $1 million a year? And, you know, nobody knows whether or not I'm making that or you're making that. So I thought that was really powerful. So can we do a good raise the roof for Kristie Shaver? Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
So our next guest on this start call is usually our host. She does an amazing job, but we're going to see her from a different perspective today. Morgan is passionate about earning while she's learning, and she's diving headfirst into network marketing. And what she's even more passionate about is helping other people who feel stuck like she was before network marketing. And what I love about Morgan is her commitment to the START group and her passion for getting us all together and helping young people embrace their full potential. So another raise the roof for Morgan Parker.
Cool. Thank you, Lena. You are doing such a phenomenal job of hosting. Can't you guys agree? Like, holy moly. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm doing today's belief piece, and if you guys know me, you know this is one of my favorite things. I love self-development. Loving on and around yourself and your world is just so important for a happy life. So I did a little poll. I was like blown away by the amount of people that answered it when I put it up last night at midnight. I put up where you're lacking belief. So we know that there's different areas of belief. There's product, there's company, there's industry, there's self, and then there's self and network marketing. And any successful person knows that they're a 10, but you know that fluctuates with the season of our lives. So when I stuck up this poll, I was blown away. I wrote down the numbers. There was 0 people that wanted belief in the company, which is like insane. I just love that. There was one person that wanted belief in the product. So like, obviously we all have belief in the product. And then network marketing was a 4, self was an 11, which totally normal. It's the easiest thing to doubt for sure. And then the biggest one, like that blew me away, over 30 people wanted to do self and network marketing. And like, who can agree this is their area of belief that they're probably slacking the most, right? I can totally agree with that. It's my lowest one, but I find even within myself, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but people often have a 10 out of 10 in belief for themselves if they've worked really hard on themselves, and then they have a 10 out of 10 belief in network marketing because we see people do it. Like, obviously it works. It's hard to doubt something like that, but it's putting those two together that's really hard. And the really hard thing is that I can't give you guys tips or a book to read that's going to make that easier. When you look at your belief in yourself in network marketing, it literally is through your experience, and it's through your failures, and it's through doing it. You ask anyone who's successful in this industry. Even Jimmy Smith says, you know, the yeses build your business, but the nos build your character, and you have to hit those to get over yourself in network marketing. And I thought about a metaphor. I'm big on metaphors and examples. So my parents have a boat, and we often take the boat up to these jumping cliffs. And for years, I watched people jump off these like 60-meter high, ridiculous cliffs. And I know that I can jump off things. I've jumped off many things in my life, especially as a small child. And I know that the people up there are jumping off and they're not dying and they're doing it just fine. But I had such a, oh my God, I can never do that. But it's not until I got up, I climbed up, and I jumped off that I'm like, oh my God, I could do that. That was so easy. And it's the same thing within believing in yourself in network marketing. Is it really is the experience and pushing through and building your confidence. So because you guys are looking to learn in that area, I just kind of outlined some quick confidence tips. Is that okay if I share it with you guys? Cool. Okay, so first off is, you know, Kristie touched on this so phenomenally, is you have to let the outside, you know, BS be on the outside. And Emily Vavre's piece, if any of you guys were at Celebration, putting on your armor, so powerful. If you guys can get your hands on that replay, it's like, oh, it's amazing. I watch it probably once a week. It's completely life-changing, and it's turning off the noise. It's making this way of looking at life so consistent and that it never ends. Even for millionaires, they have to block out the noise. People like Kristie Shaver, who, you know, makes residually over, what's a 3-star, like over 100 G a year, like ridiculous. And she still has to work on her posture and her consistency, and has a crap load of practice in making sure she has the confidence to withhold that stuff that could knock her down and knock down her confidence. So if you guys have a pen and paper, I want you to write down numbers 1 through 4. And I'm going to give you my 4 tips for confidence. And the first one for sure is a product testimony. And if you don't have one, create it. It could be, for me, I have a big skin one that I never thought that I'd have, but now I feel so proud in saying, you know, this cleansing system, these products that I put on my face have changed my skin. It could be weight loss. It could be a little bit of muscle. It could be energy. If you don't have one, create it. It could be that it cured your foot fungus, as long as it's compliant. Like, just have something that builds your confidence saying, you know, these things work. Number 2 is your income testimony. And maybe you guys are new and some of you don't have that yet, but, you know, make one. Even if you've made $50 in 10 years, that's amazing, and have confidence about that. So, and if you don't have one, make it your goal to get one. And mine is the stupidest. I can relate to Kristie so much. Like, I don't even know you can make money here. And I had the same thing. I had an email come to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. And I sent it to the person who enrolled me because I thought it was hers. But just those funny stories that will build your confidence and saying, you know, this is easy. I can do this and I can share it with other people. Number 3, in my personal opinion, this is the biggest testimony, and I call it the gushy stuff testimony. So many of us, we heard this in Meg's testimony where, you know, wouldn't you agree that you guys have grown so much mentally in your time within this company and this community? Like, so much. And I call it the gushy stuff because a lot of people connect with that even more than the money and the product, and the physical transformation is what happens up here that's so big for people. So be working on that. Work on your internal self-talk. How are you talking about yourself and your experience here? As Kristen touched on last week, your visualization and your affirmations. Feed your brain the good stuff. Like, we're putting this wonderful stuff in our body, but we need to be putting the good stuff up here to really succeed and have the confidence, right? So books and podcasts and pushing yourself out of your comfort zones and committing to do that all the time so that, you know, being uncomfortable doesn't make you that uncomfortable anymore, and it just builds your confidence. And then number 4 is growing and pushing your outside world. And Kristie did such a phenomenal way of talking about events, and that's what I was going to touch on, is just when you get in the chair, and I was someone that I was an introvert. I had social anxiety. I had a really hard time learning if there was a lot going on around me. I could much rather learn on a Zoom call like this, or I could write with paper, and I didn't like events, and that totally mirrored in, people within my own team, until I realized, like, when I look around, like Kristie Shaver and the Millionaires over here and another Start 1000 over here, like, they're at all of these events. Obviously something is here that, these people get it. You have to get your butts in the seats. And you get to learn so many different people's stories that then again build your belief and build your confidence, because you get to see what's going on at all these events. Events are so, so big. And also tying into growing and pushing your outside world is learning about the industry. So not just Isagenix, so many of us plug into Eric Warrier, GoPro, but building relationships with leaders even in other companies. One of my the person that I love to follow is in a makeup company. And like, she'll probably never be over here. I'll probably never be over there. But just what she does and how she handles herself, I find so inspiring, and she builds me up. So getting that confidence, getting yourself to be a social human, whether that's going to Toastmasters or going to free networking events, or just growing the social aspect of you, is going to get your confidence up so that you can go and talk to people. So another huge thing is just taking this seriously, holding your head up high. Eric already talks about how we are network marketing professionals. I think network marketing is the coolest industry in the whole world. And what we have here on the cusp with Start Your Life is something so revolutionary. And if you're here, it's obvious that you guys feel a pull towards this company, towards this industry, towards this community. And I'm so honored to be here, because you guys are such powerful people who obviously want more for your life. And we're connected and we're placed in the universe. I hope you guys all believe that we're connected to each other, and we're here tonight because there's a reason why we're here. And our lives, deserve so much better. And we have to take responsibility for that. Like Kristie said, like, you have to be this person that just thinks in a way that you're giving more to other people. And Peter Kelly talks about being the light, and you have to show your light to show this to other people. And if you're sitting there going, oh, I can't do this, I can't do network marketing, like, I know that you guys aren't that selfish. We have to be doing this for other people. And for you to say, oh, I believe in network marketing, 10 out of 10, and I believe in myself, I know I can do anything, I'm a powerful person, I work on myself, but they're not coming together. You have to push through that. You have to do the work. There's no book I can give you to help you guys grow this area. It really is putting in the grind every single day. Sue Field talks about how so many people seem to think it's this osmosis, or you somehow have an aha moment, or an overnight change that you wake up and you just get it. But that's not what happens. You have to put the grind in every single day and push yourself mentally. Do the work. Get uncomfortable. I totally believe in you guys. I'm going to wrap this up really quick as we come into 9 o'clock, but I believe in you guys so much, and I know you know how to put in the work, and that's really how you bust through that last final area of belief, is just doing the grind, getting the accountability, and doing the work. So with that, we are at 9:55. Thank you guys so much. I hope you got something out of that very quick rant.
Awesome. I love listening to you, Morgan, that your passion, like, I think we can all feel it through the screen. Like, I get really excited. So, I love, there's a couple things you said that, I wrote in big letters across my notes, this is revolutionary, because that is like what we have as Start Your Life. And that's such a powerful, it's such a powerful movement, and that other people's stories build your belief. And that, like, how many of you can agree that that's true, that you hear somebody else's story and you believe that you can do it too? And that we work on this every single day, and we get a little bit uncomfortable. So super powerful. How many of you guys can commit to writing down those 4 testimonials that Morgan was talking about, and you are going to work on them every single day? Awesome. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We have this start call every Sunday night at 9 p.m. and you're welcome to bring teammates. We also have an opportunity meeting. So people who have not yet dipped their feet into the business, but you want to share some product or information, that is on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next week we have on our Sunday night call, we have CG Siddons, who is a Start Ambassador and Isagenix millionaire. That she is going to do our training. So that is something that you do not want to miss, and you want your people on that call. We are also moving from the West Coast that we had tonight to an East Coast Start member, Felicia Burke. She is our starter in the spotlight, and she is on fire. So get yourself on this call and spread the word. Like I said, bring your teammates. And we will have this call available on the Start Canada YouTube channel by midnight tonight. And so you can share it with associates. So we're going to take a picture. Tina, are you going to take the screenshot for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
You guys want to come out of hiding? Those of you that are hiding? We don't care what you look like. You're lovely. Okay. There they are. There they come. 1, 2, 3. I love it. Everyone, hold on, you guys. I got to do another one. You guys are so funny. Why were you hiding? Here we are. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I love it. You guys are the best. And you guys, let's give it up for LINA for doing such an amazing job hosting tonight. She did so phenomenal. That was amazing.
So good. And thank you, Kristie. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Megan. You guys rock the house. We love you guys.
Thank you all for sharing. We'll see you next week. I know it's Thanksgiving, but CG sit-ins, guys, it's going to be huge.
Bring your pumpkin pie to the computer. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.